Have you ever found yourself questioning whether the people in your life are genuinely on your side or merely taking advantage of your kindness? It's like standing at a crossroads, uncertain of which path leads to authentic relationships and which leads to being used. It's a shared human experience, one that connects us all, even though each journey through this maze of relationships is unique. We all try to distinguish the genuine from the pretend, the supportive from the exploitative. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a great Stoic philosopher, once emphasized the importance of understanding the nature of those we connect with. In the context of relationships, it's crucial to discern who is truly invested in you and who is simply taking advantage. In this video, we'll explore 15 subtle yet significant signs that someone may be using you. These aren't random tips, but carefully considered insights rooted in an understanding of human behavior and emotions. Let's begin. 1. Dismissive comments. As we navigate through life, dismissive comments can be like hidden rocks in a stream, small but capable of making us stumble. Imagine sharing an achievement only to be met with a sarcastic, "That's it?" or confiding in someone about your dreams, only to have them belittled. These remarks, masked as casual comments, are often meant to undermine your confidence. From a Stoic perspective, these moments present an opportunity for reflection and resilience. Stoicism teaches us not to suppress emotions, but to manage them with wisdom. When faced with such remarks, pause and reflect on your worth. These comments often reveal more about the person making them than about you. They reflect their insecurities. You have the choice to let their words affect you or to see them for what they are: projections of someone else's inner turmoil. Respond with calm confidence, allowing your actions to speak louder than their words. 2. Broken promises. Have you ever encountered someone who is full of grand promises but consistently fails to deliver? These individuals weave beautiful words, making you believe in their intentions, but when it's time to act, they disappear. Their promises, like glittering jewelry, distract you from their lack of genuine commitment. In these situations, Stoicism reminds us to focus on actions, not words. Actions are a true measure of a person's intentions. If promises are frequently broken, it's a clear sign that the individual is more interested in the appearance of being supportive than in actually offering support. It's like building a house with someone who brings detailed blueprints, but never shows up to help with the construction. Trust and relationships are built on a balance of words and actions. When someone's actions consistently don't match their promises, it's time to question their sincerity. It's not about being cynical, it's about discernment. Save your time and emotional investment for those who not only speak with integrity, but also act with it. 3. One-sided benefit. Navigating relationships can often feel like walking a tightrope, especially when you find yourself in a dynamic where only one side benefits. This is like rowing a boat while the other person enjoys the ride without lifting a finger. You give, they take, and the imbalance becomes exhausting. Stoicism teaches the importance of mutual respect and balance in relationships. Your value is not determined by how much you give or how available you are. Recognize when a relationship becomes one-sided and dare to set boundaries. This is not an act of selfishness, but an act of self-respect. Engage in honest conversations and observe who is willing to adjust. Those who aren't willing to reciprocate aren't deserving of your time or energy. 4. Ignoring your needs. When someone systematically ignores your feelings and needs, it's a form of manipulation. It's like carrying a heavy burden while the other person walks beside you, indifferent. Imagine sharing your feelings only for your words to be brushed aside or dismissed. This isn't just carelessness, It's a deliberate act to keep you in check, to diminish your voice. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-respect and maintaining your inner strength. When your emotions are ignored, it's crucial to speak up. This isn't about creating conflict, but about honoring your own needs. If the person continues to disregard your feelings, it may be time to reconsider the relationship. Life should not be lived in the shadow of someone else's happiness while your own needs are overlooked. 5. Emotional manipulation. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This insight serves as your armor against emotional manipulation. Imagine being in a relationship, friendship, or work environment where someone is subtly undermining your self-esteem, making you dependent on their approval. They mix praise and criticism to keep you off balance, always seeking their validation. Stoicism teaches us to trust our instincts and be aware of manipulative behaviors. If an interaction leaves you feeling drained or anxious, it's a red flag. Question inconsistencies, defend your values, and only engage with those who respect your growth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that our mental space is ours to control, and by protecting it, we honor our true selves. 6. Lack of genuine support. At the heart of any meaningful relationship is genuine support, a foundation that ensures you're not walking life's tightrope alone. But what happens when that support is missing? When you need encouragement, guidance, or just someone to listen, but are met with indifference or absence, it's a clear red flag. True support is not about constant agreement, it's about valuing your aspirations and challenges as much as their own. If you're the only one cheering in your victories and weathering your storms alone, it's time to reevaluate the relationship. Surround yourself with people who are there for you, not only when it's convenient for them. 7. Constant competition. Do you ever feel like every interaction is a competition? A subtle but ongoing tally of who owes whom? Unlike healthy competition that fosters mutual growth, this type of behavior turns every gesture into a scorecard. Instead of building a partnership, you find yourself trapped in a game of favors and obligations. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of genuine connections over transactional exchanges. True relationships aren't about keeping score, but about mutual respect and support. Be aware of this dynamic and set boundaries. Your worth isn't measured by what you give in someone else's game. Build relationships that enrich your life, not ones that leave you feeling indebted. You've made it halfway, a true testament to your dedication to self-improvement. If you feel inspired, leave a comment with something that resonates with you, like, "I'm attracting authentic connections into my life." Let's continue. 8. Absence. During critical moments. Fair weather friends are like shadows. They're there when the sun is shining, but disappear when clouds gather. If someone consistently vanishes during your most challenging times, it's a sign that they may be using you for their own gain. These people see relationships as conveniences, stepping in only when it benefits them. Stoicism teaches us to see things as they are, not as we wish them to be. Reflect on these relationships with clarity. True connections aren't tested by easy moments, but by difficult ones. If someone is repeatedly absent when you need them most, it's time to reconsider their place in your life. Surround yourself with those who are there not only in your joy, but also in your sorrow. 9. Lack of reciprocity. Have you ever been in a relationship where you're always the one giving, of your time, attention, or even material things, while the other person rarely, if ever, contributes? This lack of reciprocity is a glaring red flag. Stoicism teaches the value of balance in all things, including relationships. If you're always the one making the effort while the other person merely takes, it's time to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, am I allowing this imbalance by not expressing my needs? Speak up. If the other person values the relationship, they will make an effort to restore balance. If not, it's a signal that it may be time to move on. This is just the beginning. Recognizing the signs is the first step toward building more meaningful, balanced, and respectful relationships. As you continue, remember, your emotional energy is valuable, and the people who deserve it are the ones who give it back in kind. Let's keep moving forward, exploring more subtle but crucial signs that someone may be taking advantage of your kindness and generosity. 10. Betrayal. In the complex landscape of relationships, betrayal is like a silent storm. It creeps in slowly, often unnoticed, wrapping itself around the pillars of trust until it squeezes the life out of them. How do you detect this hidden threat? The answer lies in mindfulness. Pay attention to the balance of giving and receiving in your interactions. If you always seem to be the one giving, while they are always the one taking, something is off. Betrayal doesn't always come in grand, dramatic acts. Sometimes, it's the accumulation of small, selfish acts, the silent erosion of trust over time. It can feel like you're caught in an emotional game, left feeling exhausted, unsatisfied, and taken for granted. Stoicism teaches us the power of perception and reaction. You have control over how you perceive these situations and how you respond to them. If you sense betrayal lurking in your relationships, approach it with the calmness of a seasoned Stoic. Address the imbalance through open communication, not with accusations, but with a desire to understand the dynamics at play. Will you try to repair the damage, or will you build something new? The choice is yours, but make it wisely. Remember that your emotional well-being is paramount, and you deserve to be in relationships that reflect mutual trust and respect. 11. Selective availability. A subtle but powerful tool of manipulation is selective availability. Imagine being the person who is always there when called upon, constantly available, ready to help, listen, or support. But when the tables turn and you need them, they are mysteriously absent. Their availability is like a rare shooting star, brief, fleeting, and always on their terms. You find yourself adjusting to their schedule, waiting for their call, and constantly making excuses for their lack of presence. Your messages float unanswered, your calls ignored, except when it's convenient for them. Stoicism encourages us to step back and reevaluate these dynamics. Your value is not defined by someone else's inconsistency. Reflect on the imbalance and reframe your role in the relationship. Set clear boundaries, not to push people away, but to protect your own mental and emotional well-being. Mutual respect and effort are the cornerstones of a healthy relationship, and Stoicism reminds us that we must prioritize those connections that enrich our lives rather than drain them. 12. Guilt as manipulation. Guilt is a master manipulator's favorite tool, used to twist your emotions and make you feel as though you owe them something. They may say things like, "After all I've done for you," or "I thought you cared," turning every favor into a debt you never agreed to. They exploit your kindness, making you feel guilty for even considering putting your own needs first. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone your time, energy, or resources simply because they expect it. It's not selfish to prioritize your well-being. It's necessary. The art of saying no is crucial here. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions should not be controlled by others. When someone uses guilt to manipulate you, they are trying to take control of your feelings. Pause and ask yourself, am I doing this because I genuinely want to, or because I feel like I should? Stoicism advocates for acting based on reason and logic, not under emotional pressure. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. You have the power to choose how you respond. Set firm boundaries to protect your emotional health. It's not just about avoiding being used, it's about living a life that is truly your own. 13. Lack of personal interest. If you often feel like you're talking to a wall in conversations, with your words bouncing back without any engagement, you're likely in a one-sided relationship. It feels like you're pouring your thoughts, feelings, and energy into a well that never gives anything back. You share your experiences, but they either don't listen or quickly steer the conversation back to themselves. It's not just about being heard, it's about being valued. Genuine conversations are a mutual exchange where both parties feel enriched. If you're constantly ignored or dismissed, it's a clear signal that your relationship is imbalanced. Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control, and in this case, it's about choosing who we spend our time and energy with. Stop and ask yourself, am I valued in this relationship? If your words are consistently falling on deaf ears, it might be time to redirect your energy toward people who truly listen and engage with you. Seeking out relationships where your voice is not only heard, but valued is not selfish. It's an act of self-respect. 14. One-sided conversations. Have you ever been trapped in a conversation where you feel like nothing more than a pair of ears, absorbing someone else's life story without a chance to contribute your own? It's a one-sided conversation where the other person dominates, turning every interaction into a monologue about their problems, successes, and thoughts. When you try to share your part, they disengage or, worse, steer the conversation right back to themselves.
Stoicism teaches us that our value lies in our ability to assert our worth in these interactions. You are more than just an audience to someone else's story. With your own experiences, insights, and emotions, the next time you finally steer the conversation back to a more balanced exchange. If the person continues to monopolize the dialogue, it's a clear sign that they are more interested in having an audience than in building the meaningful relationship.
You deserve conversations where your voice is not an echo, but a melody that deserves to be heard. Hold firm to your value, and don't be afraid to seek balance in all interactions. Genuine relationships thrive on mutual exchange, not one-sided narratives. 15. Superficial intimacy. In today's fast-paced world, superficial intimacy is a subtle yet prevalent danger. It's the kind of relationship where words and actions give the illusion of closeness, but there is no real emotional depth. Plans are often made and just as easily canceled, and promises are as fragile as autumn leaves. This isn't just a communication problem. It's a deeper issue of using the appearance of intimacy to benefit from your presence without truly investing in the relationship. You may feel like you're always available when they need you, but when you need them, they are absent. It's an interaction based on convenience, where you're more of a tool in their life than a valued individual. Recognizing this pattern is crucial for reclaiming your emotional energy and self-worth. Stoicism teaches us to seek authenticity in all aspects of life, including our relationships. It takes courage to move away from those who only view you as convenient. Instead, seek connections rooted in sincerity, where mutual growth and support are the foundations. It's in these authentic relationships that we find not only companionship, but also a shared journey toward personal and collective growth. You've now reached the end of these 15 signs, which are here to help you navigate relationships with more awareness and clarity. Each one is a reminder that you deserve relationships that enrich your life, relationships that are based on respect, mutual effort, and genuine connection. Stoicism, at its core, teaches us to value ourselves, to maintain our dignity, and to seek out what truly nourishes our soul. Final thoughts. Stoicism offers powerful tools for recognizing when we are being used and for responding with wisdom and strength. It teaches us to be discerning, to focus on what we can control, and to protect our inner peace from external manipulations. Relationships should never be one-sided or based on convenience. They should be a mutual exchange of respect, care, and support. Remember, your kindness is a gift, not a currency to be spent recklessly. Value your time, energy, and emotional investment. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, who walk with you in both sunshine and storm, and who truly value the unique person you are. Thank you for staying with me through this journey. If this philosophy resonates with you, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. If you'd like to explore more insights on Stoicism and self-growth, remember to subscribe and stay connected. Let's continue to share wisdom because, as the Stoics believed, wisdom must be shared in order to thrive. Comment, "I am a Stoic," and I'll know you've stayed with me until the end. See you in the next chapter of this journey towards self-awareness and meaningful connections.